Welcome and salutations, respected sadhakas. Take my greetings, wishes, prayers, gratitudes, and also the congratulations for maintaining the consistency in attending the Vedantic classes early in the morning every day. The 12 Vyaktitvas in us, the Loka Seva, Dharma Seva, Viragitva, Shishyatva, Bhaktatva, Mumukshutva, Jignasutva, Shrotrutva, the Sadhakatva, the Parishrami, the Prerna Yukta, the Shanti Yukta. Parabrahma, source of blessings to us through Anusandhanam. Ishvara, source of blessings to us through Sharanagati. Mata Rani, source of blessings to us through our Prarthana. Devatagana, necessary source of blessings to us through the Upasana. Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru, the Acharyas, source of blessings to us through our being obedient to them. And Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa, Rupi Shastra Shruti Mata is a beautiful source of blessings, inspiration when we are relentless in our study, Shravana, Manana, etc. Welcome again. Great text, Shwethashwathara Upanishad. Much before we enter into the first chapter, we are studying Bhagavan Adi Shankara given Sambandha Bhashyam. And today is 100th day. Every thought that Bhagavan Adi Shankara is giving in this Sambandha Bhashya and every quotation reference he is putting in front of us to substantiate that thought from Upanishads, Puranas, Bhagavad Gita, etc. are so profound, so important for a serious and sincere sadhaka that you should very seriously, sincerely listen to it, contemplate on it, understand it, and live up to it. Not even one sentence can be neglected there. Means his intensity deep of wanting to guide and bless the students of spirituality can be felt so much in it. Like a homemaker woman, how she works whole day, we never notice her intensity of wanting to give required things to everybody at home makes her so much relentless in her work. So beautiful it is. So a true patriotic politician. He's throughout the day, throughout life, struggling to bring that state or nation to a better place in all fronts. It all is seen in his work so much, his intensity behind. Adi Shankara is not careless, he is not casual, he is not just doing things out of formality. Something, divinity is he, and through him as him. Divinity is blessing the entire humanity, especially the Adhyatmika sadhakas. Every word, every sentence, every shloka is so precious to be taken into the heart, in fact. For that matter, all our scriptural shastras, all the words of wisdom, guidance of all our Rishi Muni are only to bless us. And that's why, withstanding to the testing times, they're still available to all of us, even after the eternity, as if such a long time. How come they are withstanding? Thousands and thousands of years back, these Vedas, these Puranas, Itihasas, Gita, the Shastras given to us. In between, how many natural calamities happened, how many of invasions have happened, how many of the negligences happened by the state as well as the beings, and yet withstanding to all those onslaughts. If he has come even up to our level, even in Kali Yuga. The only two things is the content in them is so beautiful, profound, and then the givers of it are so serious and sincere. The only way we can pay our respects, gratitudes, tributes to them is by studying, understanding, digesting, living that knowledge, and in our own interest. And one more glorious thing, if we do, we are so great, is pass on that legacy of this scriptural liberating knowledge to the subsequent generations. Today, let's continue what is quoted in the Brahma Purana. Every word is so beautiful. Our Sankalpa will be there, Prarthana. Before that, today in our common sense thought also, let us make some inquiry, something. For some more days, this will be there. Once Bhagavan tells us, we'll stop all, straight away go to class. Today's thought is, let us say it in these 4 or 5 points. First point is what? Vedanta Jnana, if properly not deeply understood and practiced, is the most dangerous thing for an individual as well as the society. If it is not properly, deeply understood the purport of it and implemented. Because this Vedantic Jnanam talks in such a language, the language of what? Sarvadharman parityajya yogakshemam vahamyaham. So when you see these things, Sarvadharman parityajya, it makes us feel कि अभी कुछ करना नहीं है. And when it says the Jagan Mithya, so therefore let us not involve in this world. Let us keep the world away. Isn't it? So this thing, the half of it, when it is understood, that leads to a kind of irresponsibility, a kind of unknown lethargy creeping into us, that we become more liability and lazy worst fellow as a spiritual person than even the other ordinary common worldly people. That is why knowing this only and knowing this aspect in many so-called immature spiritual seekers, that the Heduvadis they talk that the spirituality or religion is an opium for the person who doesn't want to work in the world. It's absolutely true from one standpoint. You understand? Very, very dangerous it is. Then what is the antidote for it? The antidote is the spiritual person should be more aggressively, actively dynamic than the worldly person. Only is the field has changed or the intention or purpose has changed. No, in Gita में कहते हैं ना सक्ताः कर्मणि अविद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्यात् विद्वान तथा असक्तः चिकीर्षुः लोक संग्रह. As much a person wanting the karma phala involves in the world aggressively, intensively, more aggressively, intensively, the Vidwan should involve. Only difference is without phalasakti. Means what? A spiritual person, if he has to grow spiritually and also stand as an example to others, he should become more active and aggressive in all these three aspects. First aspect is active and aggressive in his all outer duties and services, through which he attains the inner purity. Antakarana Shuddhi. Doubly he has to be active and aggressive in his inner journey of all those practical sadhanas which he has to do. Are we doing it or becoming just a listener and then using this pseudo spiritual knowledge to escape our outer duties and to become lazy and more indulgent? If this we don't observe, one side we feel we are spiritual, doing some study and coming to classes, other side we are the most worst liability to the world. So the second thing is the aggressive active our sadhana more vigorously, because we are going to be the examples to others that he is a spiritual person. Oh, we can't be such an example. As we said just now, on the name of spirituality, he is the most laziest person, most liability. Gurudev was great example. He never gave any even chance to feel the make the people feel that spirituality is an escapism or a laziness or non-performance or non-contribution. His activeness in his aggressiveness in his service to the world was 100 times more than an ordinary person. So, before we embark onto the deeper inner sadhanas, we have to be very active and aggressive as a spiritual seekers in our outer duties and services, the result of which is Antakarana Shuddha. As the Antakarana is becoming Shuddha, more aggressive and active we have to be in our inner understood sadhanas of going towards the truth or the self. Then once we have touched it, again doubly active, aggressive we have to be in this world to take this message to the world in whatever the way we can. You give lectures or you write the books or start institutions. Kaisa karoge nahi bata, but we have to be active and aggressive. Else, our laziness will be taken by the people as an example. Thereafter, people join spiritual places to escape the duties and works. No, if this happens, the spirituality is the most worst thing to be selected and deleted from the life and the world. So, first thing is what? Most dangerous one is spirituality. Second is that to avoid that, we have to be very active and aggressive in our works, in our contributions, in our sadhanas, etc. all the time. Second thing. Third one, now the continuation of this thought is what? Even though we have understood spirituality and all to some extent, still something happens. That something is called as the terrible power of Maya, terrible power of the mind, and their delusion effects. What do they do with their delusionary effects? Is every moment be attentive. Though we claim to be spiritual seekers, though we claim to be the people of understanding, yet every moment this mind of ours makes us again and again do and involve in only those things in which truth is not there again. You and I are spiritual seekers. Now morning we might have got up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock, say 5:30. अब 7:30 पौने 8 हो गया. Now in these 3 hours, how much of our attention was on the truth? How much of our attention was on any other thing, with whatever pretext that it is necessary or it is compulsory or it is duty or this is ought to be done, this is what the day should begin करके we might have done 20 things in the morning. In all those 20 things there is no truth at all, something else only we do. Again, now the class we are in this one, the class is over till the again next class comes. Throughout the day बैकग्राउंड में दैट आइडेंटिटी दैट आई एम स्पिरिचुअल सीकर होता है, लेकिन फोर फ्रंट में द एंटायर डेज आवर शेड्यूल इज ओनली इन डूइंग सच थिंग्स in which Bhagavan is not there, truth is not there, reality is not there, and we are not aware of it. This is called Maya or delusion. This is what is happening to us from last 4 years. Every day we are in the class, but other than the class time, every day we are away from the truth. Every moment we are away from the truth on whatever the pretext. That's why Bhagavan says, Sarvadharman Parityajakartha. Ye hai danger. Then therefore what is to be done? What is to be done is every moment our attention should be in our sadhana which takes us towards Paramatma. This is the third point. Then what is to be done for that? Only one thing, we have to develop a nature of always remembering our Shastras and Shastrokta Jnanam. You understood? The sadhana indicated in that. That should linger in our mind all the time. That is the meaning of That Kaupina Panchagamna, first line, Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadaramantaha. We take the meaning, main meaning is secondary meaning main. What is the secondary meaning we take as main is Vedanta Vakyeshu Ramantaha. Okay, Vedanta Vakyo में हमें रमण करना है. No, that is secondary meaning. The primary meaning is Sada. The word Sada we miss और पूरा उसमें the important word वही होता है. वेदांत वाक्येषु रमन्तः means what? सुबह शाम को एक एक घंटा. But that's not the way that we are reminded of our goal and we are inspired to walk on the goal and we work towards that. The word important is sada. Sadaramanta. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadaramanta. Now, to that extent, our Shastra Shravana, Shastra Adhyayana, Manana, Chintana should be there. That always, not only we are remembering, but we are reveling in the Vedanta Vakyas. In the Vedanta Vakyas, the ultimate Vakya is like Tattvamasi Ityadi, which directly make us meditate. At the lower level, the Vedanta Vakyas, which remind us about the nature of the truth. See, yesterday Advaita Anubhuti, how beautiful were the guidances Adi Shankara was giving. That text Advaita Anubhuti is the best example to explain what is the meaning of Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadaramantaha. What is he doing? He is looking at the world like Ramji also best example. Ramji is doing the Vetareka sadhana, Shankara Bhagavan is teaching us the Anvaya sadhana. All the time the mind is only in how to understand what is it in Vedanta Vakyas, how to get convinced about it, how to be practical regarding it, how to experience that thing which is said in the Vedanta. Like सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि. ये अनुभव होना चाहिए. अनन्या चिंतयन्तो मम ये जना परिभाषते. ये अनुभव होना चाहिए. ईशावास्यम इदगम सर्वम यत्किंच जगत्याम जगत. ये अनुभव में होना चाहिए हमको. So all the time we have to revel in the inspiring Vedanta Vakyas. Isn't it? Now, the fifth and last one is what? While doing it, we have no other way than to be careful about avoiding everything which is contrary to this. Isn't it? That's again a great maturity, technically called as Vairagya, wherein I am pursuing this inner truth. Therefore, I have to be single pointed for that. Any pursuit other than that is opposite to it. Therefore, I have to be very conscious about and not involving. And a Vedanti, when is becoming true, no, Lord Himself blesses to take away things and beings and responsibilities and involvements from Him. You have to thank to the God and say, Bhagavan, और ले जा, और मुझे और intense बनना है in search of you within me. So these are the 5 things we have to be careful, mindful, day in and day out. Let spirituality do not become the cause of our physical, mental, intellectual laziness, irresponsibility, etc. in the world by getting carried away by the Sarvadharman Parityatya इत्यादि half sentences. मामेकम शरण व्रज करना है उसके लिए सर्वधर्मान. Otherwise, we have to involve. Second is very active, aggressively we have to be to be an example to the world around. Third one is the discovery of the Maya and Mana, wherein how they make us involved in everything other than Paramatma, even though we claim to be spiritual. Fourth, therefore, is what? Always be aware of the Shastra Jnanam which we have gained, Vedanta Mahavakyas, which should inspire us, remind us of what we are aiming at, doing and achieving. And while doing it, the fifth one, be careful about not again wasting even a pul moment also, even an iota of energy also, in doing anything which is contrary to this. अदर और स्पिरिचुअल साधना का खिलाफ जो भी है, मतलब जिन चीज़ों के कारण हमारे मन में रजोगुण बढ़ेगा, इन एज द वासनास ग्रो, इन एज द रियलिटी टू द वर्ल्ड ग्रोस, इन एज द फॉरगेटफुलनेस ऑफ द गेन्ड शास्त्र ज्ञान हैपेंस, which it weakens us, which demoralizes us, isn't it? उनको जानकर carefully, oh, this is the thought coming to me, this is contrary to my sadhana, so let me eliminate it. This another thought is coming, or this bulava aa raha hai, this prompting is happening, this temptation is happening. So these are all contrary to my sadhanas, so I will not involve in them. So to the positive ones to entertain. Entertain the positive thought. मैं सुबह 4 बजे ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में उठकर 3:54 I will do my meditation. My in between of my day schedule, wherever I get gap, so I'll just take up this one text and study it thoroughly. These are the amount of japa I do of my Ishta Devatas mantra. So this is what morning, evening I do my Deeparadhana and puja. So as a positive thoughts, this is how you refresh my this particular class, which was inspirational, or this particular topic of this shastra was so important. Let me read it again. So let me be more and more spiritual. Let me be more and more deep in my understanding of Shastras and live up to it. Let me be like all those great saints and sages who have dwelled or delved deeply inside and then transcended all the upadhis and discovered the Supreme Self. These positive thoughts entertain करते रहना, negative को आने नहीं देना. This is the fifth point. Before that, always in the memory of the Vedanta Mahavakyas and doing those meditational sadhanas. Before that, recognizing the Maya and Manas effect. Before that, the necessity of working more vigorously and hard than the worldly people when we are spiritual. And before that, be careful, let our spirituality be not making us so lazy that we are liability to ourselves. बाबा जी उठ ही नहीं रहे 10 बजे तक. ए स्पिरिचुअल पर्सन पता नहीं काम ही नहीं करता. देखो गुरुदेव वाज सच ए परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल टू अस. 10 लोगों का काम अकेले करते थे. And in many of the ashramas and all, you see, on the name of sadhana, and people immature bechare. You're not blaming them or finding fault, but that's how the Maya works. That बस सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य कह दिया भगवान ने तो रिलैक्स. बट वही भगवान ने कर्मण्यवादी का रास्ते भी बोला. सीधा स्टडी 18 चैप्टर. अरे भाई सेकंड चैंट करके उसको प्रैक्टिस करो, यू बिकम क्वालिफाइड फॉर द 18th. नो, नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो दूसरों को करने दो, मैं तो रिलैक्स. देन देयर इज लेजीनेस, लेथार्जी इन एवरी एक्टिविटी एंड ऑल. दिस इज अ महामाया. मैं तो स्पिरिचुअल हूँ इसलिए तो ये काम नहीं करूंगा, वो नहीं करूंगा. Puja Gurudev, that is why I ordered all his disciples, you can't be lazy. People will never cooperate with you in the organization, but you work. They have come for their own prarabdha, your prarabdha. Don't mix up all the issues. तुम बस करो काम, कोई help किया ना किए. That is the inspiration to us. And he lived like that. That's protecting. अदरवाइज ऑन द नेम ऑफ साधना बाबा जी बनकर ना कोई नौकरी कर रहे, ना कोई लोग सेवा कर रहे, सारा घर गृहस्थी सब छोड़ दी और कर क्या रहे दिन भर. कुछ कर रहे ना, टाइम तो रुकता नहीं ना. हाउ डेंजरस दैट इज. More useful than this person is the one who is active and contributing to the world. That's why the great Saint Vivekananda said, it is better to play football on the ground rather than becoming lazy on the name of sadhana. Sadhaka has to be more aggressive because when physical activities gets reduced, no, because sarvadharan paritijya nautanki kar rahe hum. At that time, mind either becomes more oriented toward the desires or it becomes lazy, sleepy. The person who are working in the world, mind is engaged in the action ना, इसलिए उसको ये दो तमाशा करने का टाइम ज्यादा नहीं होता, चांस नहीं होता to enter into sleep or to entertain nonsense. But the one who is not acting in the world, on the name of spirituality, he will only have the desires in the mind, sankalpas in the mind, worries and broodings and body related desires. Finally, laziness. तमोगुण, निद्रा, क्योंकि कुछ कर नहीं रहा. अब देखो निद्रा आदि लेजीनेस ऐसा होता है कि अब जितना भी उसमें जाओ उसका एंड नहीं होता. दिन भर यू स्लीप, यू फील लाइक भगवान और 10 घंटे दे दो, मेरे को नींद कम हो रहा है और सोना है. इट्स ऑल इन द माइंड, माइंड मेक्स दोज कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड माइंड मेक्स हैबिचुअल टू इट. और एक ट्रैक में मैं स्पिरिचुअल हूँ करके सुबह शाम क्लास सुनना भी होता है, दूसरे ट्रैक में मोस्ट यूजलेस लायबिलिटी वी आर. दोनों कैन गो टुगेदर. दैट इज माया. That is why to avoid it, vigorously we have to act. We should know that we are acting. Not that action need not be only physical. Physical also required to maintain health of body, but then more of our studies, our contemplation. एक सेकंड भी हमें फ्री नहीं होना. Let the world know it or not. Spirituality is not a performance for the world to know. It's our own convinced way of lifestyle for our own evolution and realization. To keep all these five crucial things in the mind, most important is see that we are not becoming cranky, angry, lazy, sleepy, extroverted than the worldly people on the name of spirituality. We can't cheat ourselves. We should neither get misguiding others nor make them insult us or feel क्या दादाजी बाबा क्या सत्संग के नाम पे या साधना के नाम पे ऐसे बैठे रहते, पता नहीं करते कुछ है कि नहीं वहाँ, लेकिन इधर तो कुछ नहीं करते. हाँ, people won't talk on our face, but they have nothing but to talk about us only to each other. Yes, your son and daughter-in-law, how many times they might have talked about you on the name of sadhana if you are not doing sadhana and not serving. हमको क्या बता? Each of those will affect us. Every thought. We have to protect ourselves from that. The only way is we have to become sincere. To become sincere and serious, we have to be matured. The maturity is these understandings. That I have to be more aggressive, active. Can't give even a moment's chance for any laziness, anything. Spiritual person को 1000 काम ज़्यादा होना चाहिए than the worldly person. But the काम are related to the sadhana, related not to samsara. That is why hundreds of things are given. And we have seen in our Sambandha Bhashya earlier. It will come again. In the other texts also we have seen how a spiritual person has to engage throughout the day, so much in so many practices. These are all japa, puja, upasana. Not that puja 10 मिनट करके छोड़ दी, 1 घंटा करना है. Not that japa 5 मिनट करके छोड़ दी, 2 घंटे करना चाहिए. Not that सत्संग 15 मिनट सुन के छोड़ दी, 2 घंटा उसमें भी लगे रहना है. Not that स्टडी किया 15 मिनट, 1 घंटा उसमें लगना चाहिए. Not that contemplation 2 मिनट किया, वो आधा घंटा हो रहा है. मेडिटेशन का, in this way, you should not become aware how the time is being spent. और वो करने के टाइम पे अंदर का जो पस है, जो वासनाएं हैं, जो प्रारब्ध है, जो डीपली हिडन लाइव्स टुगेदर कलेक्टेड द रजोगुणास तमोगुणास, they attack you in such a terrible manner like 1,000 monsters at one time. But with the faith in the goal chosen, with the prayers to God and Guru to give us strength, negotiating all of them, we have to do best from our side, which we will know whether we are doing our best or not. That best may not be sufficient as sadhana, but it is best from my side. That way we have to. And then all these things slowly get reduced, the obstructions. And the grace when we are invoking, it empowers us, like Hanumanji. All the 4 obstacles gone away. Mainaka, Surasa, Saimika, Lankini. Then the Lord Rama's blessings came. Then he could successfully pursue his work of searching for Sitaji and doing the required. Every one of our spiritual sadhana is Hanumanji's yatra only like. Now at what stage we are, we must know. Isn't it? And then maturely, carefully, calculatively, alertness ke saath, we have to do everything. Even the routine sadhanas also, we have to be careful ki are they becoming mechanical? Are they losing the charm of doing and therefore the effect? नो, ऐसा करेंगे ना केयरलेसनेस के साथ या mechanically, then hundreds of years we may do, but we don't progress even little. The quality of the perfection of the sadhanas have to be minded. That's real maturity actually. Actually, what I am doing is zyada, how I am doing is important for a sadhaka. Slowly. First, what I am doing, में focus करो, कुछ तो करो. Then, how I am doing? Am I doing it perfectly? In doing perfect only, the results come perfect. That is the ultimate. That I am full day engaged in doing the required sadhanas perfectly. अब इस बंदे का गाड़ी पक्का है, पहुंच ही जाएगा वो बस destination. So maybe be careful about first thing, that the spirituality should not make us lazy, lethargic, liability. Isn't it? Let us be an example to the world by more aggressive. Everything, wherever we are required, wherever we are placed, the joy be there, the activeness be there, initiative be there, inspiration be there, yet detached. ये सब काम जरूरत है इसलिए उसमें, जब नहीं है तो इक्वली एक्टिव अग्रेसिव वी आर इन आवर वर्क्स. Isn't it? More and more. Like you people do. I don't know what time you get up. 7:30 sharp, you are there. And you are trained. And they are wonderful. That's what is required. The army discipline. Throughout the day, fully engaged. May God bless us to remind us, to make us remember all these things and live a self-satisfactory life. That spiritually, जो समझना था मैंने समझा और जो करना था मैं कर रहा हूँ, उससे बढ़कर खुशी आनंद नहीं होगा. The sattvic ananda it is, divya ananda it is, adhyatmik ananda it is. Compared to that, all these worldly bhogas, जिसमें regrets and guilts and tirednesses, fatigues and exhaustions, इसमें क्या है? Isn't totally उसको eliminate करना है हमको, select all, delete all. और ये सारे चीज select all and copy paste. May God bless us. May we receive the blessings. May we use them. Rather, we are already blessed. So much we are blessed that even 5% of the blessings we are neither recognizing nor using. More and more let us become aware of Bhagavad Krupa, Anukshana on us, and let us use it. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ओम भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वर जीव विवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणं. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यमेकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे. श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणेव कैवल्य सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां मोक्षमार्गाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सा सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थ वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः. ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Sambandha Bhashyam. In that Sambandha Bhashya, so profound, beautiful. We are here it after explaining this very powerful sentence. Ki Esha Vimohini iti Ukta. Dvaita Advaita Swarupini Maya. It is the most deluding one, which makes the single Paramatma appear to be in the Dvaita form and makes us get entangled in that and pulls us down from the level of the self to the Jiva, from the Mukta Purusha to the Baddha Purusha, from a Sukhi to the Dukhi. Esha Vimohini iti Ukta, Dvaita Advaita Sarupini, that avidya. And this avidya janita, whatever dvaita is there, only for vyavahara artha. In that vyavahara, only two. One dharma, second sadhana. Dharma vyavahara, sadhana vyavahara. If we just go away from these two tracks of limitations, then we are trapped in the maya. We are trapped in the avidya. Then how to do? What to do? Go back to yourself. How? This most important. Advaitam bhavayet brahma sakalam nishkalam sada. Atmagnyah shoka santirnah न विवेति कुत्रश्चन. देखो, हाँ हाँ, सकलम निष्कलम अद्वयम अद्वैतम ब्रह्म इति सदा भावेत. सकलम निष्कलम अद्वैतम ब्रह्म इति सदा भावेत. सीधा सदा वर्ड आ गया कि नहीं इधर? Sakala means all the world of multiplicity, the grosser or subtler, is one undifferentiable Nishkala Brahma only. In this bhavana we have to be there. Let it be presented in front of us in any number of different expressions. Let our upadhis see them in that way and try to confuse us, saying that the whole world of multiplicity, perceptibility is real. Yet, our Vedanta Jnana should make us do this practice, that let it come in front of me, the world, in any forms and names. All of this is Nishkala Advaita Brahma only. On that only, because of Vidya, the Dvaita is projected. Everything is Ekameva Advayam Brahma. So, Advaitam Bhavayet Brahma Sakalam Nishkalam Sada. Sakalam Sada Nishkalam Advaitam Brahma iti Bhavayet. You know, a little lower step than that is in devotion, where we are trained to say, everything is my Ishtadeva Rama. Everything is my Ishtadeva Krishna. Isn't it? भक्ति में सब भगवान का ही रूप हम मानते हैं. वेदांत में एवरीथिंग इज निष्कलम ब्रह्म. सकलम निष्कलम ब्रह्म एव इति सर्वदा भावयेत. You know, is it not adding to what we saw in the introduction? वेदांत वाक्य सदा रमंतः, और उसी का प्रैक्टिस में रहना. हमें एक ही चीज देखना है, ब्रह्म. वो ब्रह्म ही दिखना है. आंख खोलो तो भी जगत के रूप में, बंद करो तो भी उपाधियों के रूप में, अंदर जाओ तो आत्मा के रूप में. बिकॉज आत्मा के रूप में, अंतःकरण के रूप में, जगत के रूप में, वन ब्रह्मन अलोन इज देयर. द अविद्या एंड माया हैव प्रोजेक्टेड. बिकॉज अविद्या माया प्रोजेक्टेड, वी कांट फाइट विद देम डायरेक्टली. बिकॉज वो लोग ना पर्दे के पीछे से लड़ाई करते हैं. देन व्हाट टू डू? यू प्रैक्टिस द अद्वैत ब्रह्म ज्ञानम. ऑटोमेटिकली द अविद्या एंड माया देखो अभी. यू नो, कई कई ना हिंदी सिनेमा में, तेलुगु में डायलॉग होता है, यू नो दैट, मैं वो शत्रु से हमेशा लड़ रहा हूँ जो दिखता नहीं आंखों के सामने. मेरे अंदर के अदृश्य शत्रु से मैं लड़ रहा हूँ. इट्स वेरी profound sentence with all बेवकूफी in it. Don't fight with the shatru who cannot be seen. Do what? Do what is to be done. You do the Advaita Paramatma ka abhyasa in the light of that, the avidya, maya, and its created multiplicity. Automatically will go away. उसके लिए कुछ नहीं करना. Like how to come out of Tamoguna, Swami. You do the Rajoguna activity, automatically tamas goes. You can't eliminate tamas just like that. कुछ तो होना है अंदर, रजस या तमस. तुम रजस नहीं कर रहे हो इसलिए तो तमस आया. तो do rajas tamas goes away. But I'm so much rajoguni. How to do? I want to become sattvic. Then do sattvic things automatically. Whichever we do, that remains with us. मैं क्या करूं, मैं झूठ बोलता जाता हूँ, सत्य बोलना शुरू कर, झूठ चला जाएगा. हाँ, क्या करूं मैं, whole life is full of bhoga bhoga. I start doing yoga, the bhoga goes away. Isn't it? I don't know, my mind is full of the hatred, jealousy to all. I can't help it. You start loving, then the things will go away. मैं क्या करूं स्वामी, इतना नास्तिक हूं मैं. अरे भरो आस्तिक नास्तिक हो जाएगा. पता नहीं, in my mind only the people are there, the relation with them is there, all that funny things only there. I don't know, never the God or the Guru is in my mind. क्या करूं? Bring the God and Guru, भाई ऑटोमेटिक दूसरा चले जाएंगे. वो लाया तो ये चला गया ना, अब ये लाओ तो चले जाएंगे वो. We brought worldliness into our life, spirituality gone away. You bring spirituality into life, worldliness goes away. It is as simple and easy as that. इसको अडिता तत् करो, हो जाता है काम. But then again mind comes. It doesn't allow this intellectual conviction to work. It brings its own projections, ifs and buts. And the best thing the mind does is like Dhritarashtra. It agrees everything what is proposed by intellect. But with only one thing it defeats the whole intellectual conviction. Okay, ते तुमने जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी के बारे में कहा, सब मैंने समझ लिया, स्पिरिचुअलिटी करना चाहिए और जिंदगी पूरा आध्यात्मिक, सब मैं मंजूर. बस एक ही बात है, क्या वो कल से करेंगे. आज भोग करेंगे. This is one thing the mind defeats all our intellectual convictions. मैं तो मना नहीं कर रहा हूँ ना, सब ठीक ठाक है जैसा, बट कल से, नॉट टुडे. And the kal never comes. That's how every day we are spending in not doing sadhana, victimized by our mind which goes on procrastinating. By the way. So, Advaitam bhavayet nityam nishkalam brahma sada. Okay? Yeah? The result of that is what? Atmagnaha. He slowly comes to experience that Atma Tattva. Then Shoka Santiranaha, he will Samyak Tiranaha, completely goes beyond every Shoka. Then Na Bhiveti Kutaschana, he will have no Bhaya from any source. So Na Bhiveti Kutaschana is Taittiriya mantra. Then the Shoka Santiranaha is both. The Ishavasya and Kathopanishad. Shokatigo modate svargaloke or तत्र कशोक कोमो तत्र कोमोह कशोकः एकत्वम अनुपश्यता. So all the time the Nishkala Advaita Brahma Bhavana karte karte become the Atmajnani, Shoka removal, Bhaya removal. Actually we have to do them and it will actually happen. And again to substantiate that the whole bhaya will go away once for all, he says, Mrityo sakashat maranat athava anyakrutat bhayat. This is what is. Which bhaya he will be freed from? Mrityo sakashat maranat and then anyakrutat bhayat. अब थोड़ा इसमें गौर से ध्यान देना. The three fears are there. First is मृत्योः सकाशात. What is the mrityu sakashat? The mrityu is very nearing to me. I am going to die. That bhaya. मृत्यु सकाश, मृत्यु नियर हो रहा है वाला डर. तो as we become old in our age, this bhaya comes to us. This is different from marana bhayat. The marana bhaya is really मृत्यु is in front. दिखता है. जब मृत्यु देवता आकर उन कुछ ही सेकंडों में हमको यही शरीर से निकाल के ले जाते. तो ना स्वामी वैसे बोल लोग जैसे मर के आ रहे. So मृत्यु का सकाशत्व का भय अलग है, मृत्यु का भय अलग है. दैट्स व्हाई मृत्यु सकाशात और मरणात और मीन्स एंड भयात एंड अथवा अन्यकृतात् भयात. द अन्यकृत भयात कि मरकर मैं कहाँ जाऊंगा, ये वाला भय. Isn't it? Or the other bhayas कि if I go away, what will happen to the people who are depending on me? These are the things unexpressed in language, felt inside. isn't it? The emotions we go through, the fears we go through, those experiences we go through, often they don't find words to express, but they're all there so much in us, inexplicable. Like the person on the bed in the hospital, वो बोल नहीं पाता उसके मन में क्या गुजर रहा है कि कब मैं यहाँ से बाहर निकलूँ, खुले हवा में घूमूं वगैरह करके. He can't tell it to doctor or nurse. Isn't it? He may tell to his very close wife or husband, children, क्या मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगा क्या, बाहर आऊंगा क्या. Those things we don't know. All of them will go away. Once we discover we are that eternal, immutable, birthless, deathless, changeless self, and all these which we are observing, the old age disease, they're all to the upadhi. ये जो मजा है उसमें, just enjoy that. Every age has its own dignity, and this body when becomes old. The other day, somebody died. Then they came, Swami ji मर गए. मैंने कहा अच्छा हो गया मर गए. Do you want your mother, father to become more and more old and more diseased and more hospitalized, and you have to serve them with frustration? Lot of money is wasted and all. We see only one picture of it. और 10 साल जीते तो कितना अच्छा होता. 10 साल जीता क्यों, मरना है वो. With all the old age inabilities, dependencies, etc. This is Bhagavan giving actual mukti, that is. नहीं क्या? Imagine if you are age of 80 years and you wanted your parents to stay and they are 110 साल. अरे 110 साल में कैसा होगा शरीर? And that nature of the sharira to become the old and all the parts become, that you can't avoid. That is how the सृष्टि is made by the ईश्वर. पशु हो, पक्षी हो, पेड़ हो, सब बूढ़े होंगे. We don't think that aspect. Even the मरने वाले को भी ये सोचना है. You understood? Old man. Think, यार कितना झेलूं मैं इस शरीर से. Let me go. What he wants is, I have to be healthy, live long, not for sadhana. और भी लोगों को रुलाने के लिए और भोग करने के लिए. मैं तो ये कहता हूँ भगवान, साधना करना है उसके लिए जितने साल जिलाओगे जिलाओ. और जिस दिन साधना नहीं हो पाता है, अब यू टेक मी, लेट आई शुड नॉट बिकम साधना फॉर अदर्स. लकीली नो वर्ड इज देयर. लकीली मीन्स फॉर देम. जब तक साधना हो सकता है तब तक ईश्वर, ना तो किक इट एंड गो. आई शुड नॉट बिकम source of bondage to others, and for me also regret and guilt. Again for us this regard में best example is Gurudev. Sarved. As the Sharira became old, he just dropped and went. ये सारे maturities हैं. ये सब at our intellectual level we are talking to plain words. But something higher than this is what? One who realizes Atma, he is not the Sharira. जब आएगा जब जाएगा क्या फर्क पड़ता है? He'll have no fear of it. I'm not that. है ना? Like Afghanistan floods, 100 people died yesterday, or some other place. It's a casual news to us. So much casual will be the lot of this body because I am the self. I am not the body. To that level, that Sarvada Nishkalam Brahma, what is said, Bhavayet, we have to do. So much our chitta should be filled with Brahma Bhavana, Atma Bhavana, that I am Sharira is should be kept far away. अब क्या है ना, I am Sharira is so close to us that I am Brahma must be kept far away. And Sharira will have rogas, then you will suffer. It's something like a bad example I am telling. Wrong example. Don't misunderstand. When the children are with the parents in India, every day parents have problems and troubles. They will suffer children. But they are in America, say parents are going through same, but they don't suffer because दूर है. That's why I gave a wrong example. Why wrong? Because they should be with the parents and take care. That is the rule. That's it. उल्टा एग्जाम्पल दिया मैंने, सही बात समझाने को. When they are with the parents, everyday complaints, everyday worry. खांसी आ जाती है फिर डर लगता है उसको. The father says, मेरे को digestion नहीं हो रहा बेटा. Then he'll have to keep a leave and take him to hospital. Take a leave and all the worries. But he's in America. इसको पता ही नहीं. पापा बोलते भी नहीं. बोलेगा तो आएगा भी नहीं. Why distance? In the same way, maintain distance with the Sharira by being very close to the Brahman in our thoughts all the time. Wow. That is the meaning of it. Okay. Next one now the Atma Lakshana बता रहे. ऊपर का बताया ना, मृत्योः सकाशात् भयात् मरण भयात्, then अन्य कृतात् भयात् अथवा अन्य कृतात् भयात्. अन्य कृत भयस तो नेक्स्ट लाइफ क्या होगा, नरक में जाऊंगा, पशु पक्षी बनूंगा, दोस टाइप ऑफ भय. इफ दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इज देयर, लकी नास्तिका दे डोंट बिलीव इन दैट, वो फियर उनको नहीं होता. बट द अदर फियर ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी and the fear of disappointment that I have not enjoyed the world, fear of what will happen to the people who are depending on me, that fear will be there. And the other interesting thing is what, यार मैं चला जाऊं तो लोग खुश हो जाएंगे and I don't want that. ये तीसरा वाला किसी को ऊपर महसूस नहीं होता लेकिन अंदर होता है. I was so much torturing them. If I go away, they become so happy, which I don't want. And they also pray, भगवान ले जा. हम भी कहते हैं रहने दो रहने दो. जिसका पलड़ा भारी भगवान उसको तथास्तु कहते. Now the आत्म तत्व का लक्षण बड़ी आशा फ्रॉम ऑल गीता उपनिषद्स ओनली. पुराण क्या है? आई एम सरप्राइज टू सी दीज मंत्रास. सारे मांडू के कारिका में सारे वही हैं जो इधर है पुराणों में. शंकर भाष्य, एवरीथिंग इज इन अध्यात्म रामायण, इन अवर ओन योग वाष्मा रामायण. तो देर ऑल उपनिषद ऑथेंटिक ओनली. पुराण में जो है उपनिषद में, उपनिषद आर अल्टीमेट. पुराण गो इन लाइन विद देम. So the Puranic saints are not less than the Vedic. Only they made it available to us in an easier manner. Now, na jayate na mriyate na vadyo na cha ghatakaha na buddho bandhakari va na mukto na cha mokshadah purushah paramatma tu yadatonyad asacchatat एवं बुद्ध्वा जगद्रूपं विष्णोर्मायामयं मृषा भोगासंगात् भवेद् मुक्तः त्यक्त्वा सर्वविकल्पनां त्यक्त सर्वविकल्पश्च स्वात्मस्थं निश्चलं मनः कृत्वा शान्तो भवेद् योगी दग्धेन्दन इवानलः. Every sentence is so $1,000,000 valued. Excellent, powerful, wonderful. That Nishkala Advaita Brahma, of whose bhavana the Purana Rishi said to us to do the bhavana continuously, what it is, ki na jayate. It is never born because it was never not there. It is always there. That Sadvastu is na jayate because always there. And anything born alone dies. Therefore, that which is never born, ever there, it will have no death. Only one thing which is never born yet dies, that is अज्ञान. अज्ञान का कोई कारण नहीं होता, कब से शुरू हुआ उसका वो अज है, बट वो अमर अनंत नहीं है. जब ज्ञान होता है, that goes away. Like a darkness in a cave. From when the darkness is there, we don't know. When it started, अजन्मा है वो. But when you put a electricity or light there, the darkness goes away. इन द सेम वे ओनली आत्मा एंड माया, ये दोनों ही अनादि है, बट दोनों में आत्मा अनंत भी है, बट द माया इज शांत. इट एंड्स व्हेन द ज्ञान डॉन्स. सो न जायते, द सेल्फ इज नॉट बॉर्न. न म्रियते, इट हैज नो डेथ. दिस इज एनी वी हियर. दैट्स व्हाट द सेल्फ व्हेन वी आइडेंटिफाई विद द फियर ऑफ बर्थ डेथ, दे ऑल गो अवे. Actual birth and death, which happens to us when we have asanas in the form of another sharira, that goes away. And the maturity that I don't want to be in any of the upadhis which are subjected to birth, modification, death. This also is great maturity. We have that. कि मुझे न मरना है, न जन्म लेना है, न बदलना है, लेकिन दैट वी वांट टू बी विथ द शरीर, व्हिच इज नॉट पॉसिबल. Only with the self, Ajara, Amara, and Ajaha are possible. So, Najayate, unborn. Namriyate, undying. Third one is what? Navadhyaha. It is not the one which is killed. Killed is an extreme action. What it means is, it is not that on which any action can fall. It is not that on which any action can fall. Like in grammar, in Vyavahara, there are three things. I, the doer. The other one is on whom the action falls. Third is the action. Like I am the doer. The person is the one whom the action is falling. The action is I am praising him. Vocal action. Or I am garlanding him. Or I am congratulating him. So the one who is doing is called karta. On whom the action is falling is karma. Not that karma, physical karma. उनको कर्म कहते. And the action is called kriya. कर्ता कर्मा के ऊपर क्रिया करता है. Like some vegetable, I am there. So I am the karta. The vegetable is karma on whom the action is falling, and the action is cutting it and making a subject. So navadhyaha means the self is not the one on whom any action can fall. The extreme action is killing. Therefore, he is never killed. That's the meaning of nahanyate in Upanishad and Gita. Nayam hanti nahanyate. Nahanyate is the first one. Navadya. And naturally the second one also, na ghatakaha. Ghataka means the killer. Nacha ghatakaha, the killer. So there it is, nahanti. The hanti and ghatakaha are same. Nahanyate na vadyaha. So neither is the doer of the action of the killing, nor the one on whom the action of killed falls. That's what Bhagavan Krishna tells to Arjuna. You think you are killer, they are killed. Therefore you are feeling bad. Or you think they are the killers and you are the killed. Therefore you are afraid. Because you never fought war with Bhishma, Drona, गुरु और दादाजी. बाकी से चक्के देख चुके हो, बट ये तो तुमसे बलवान है, तो डर भी हो सकता. So in them and in you there is only one self, who is neither the killer nor the killed. Includes neither doer of anything nor the one on whom the action falls. So he is nirlipta by these two things of doing and the action falling. तो कोई कर्म का भगवान करता भी नहीं है और भगवान के ऊपर कोई कर्म का असर होता ही नहीं. We have to ponder, we have to contemplate on this. Like in me, when I am doing this pravachanam, the consciousness in me is only a witness, no? He is not the karta of this satsanga. He is only witness. And when you do satsang, let us say I listen. At that time, I am the karma on whom the action is falling. So that time, the self is not affected that way. Like किसी ने मुझे गाली गलौज दी, तो द गाली गलौज किसको लगते हैं? द ईगो को, मुझे, मेरे अंदर, नॉट टू द आत्मन. इट ओनली इल्यूमिनेट्स. Very careful about it. So न जायते, unborn, न मृयते, undying, न घातकः, न हन्ति, और न बध्यः, न च घातकः. The self can never be a killer nor the killed. Think about these are the contemplation. Third one, na baddhaha, is never bound. What can bind the Paramatma? He is one without second. दूसरा कोई है तो उसको बांध देंगे ना. रस्सी से बांधोगे, रस्सी है ही नहीं, वो भी रस्सी है, रस्सी भी वही है. न बद्धहा, he is never bound. Then who is baddha? Jiva. Jiva bhava itself is pseudo. These are the things we have to spend time in contemplation. And Nabandhakari, and he is not the cause of bondage. Neither he gets bound nor is cause of bondage. So all the pairs of opposite. Jayate mriyate nahi hai. In the same way, vadhyaha ghatakaha nahi hai. In the same way, na baddhaha na bandhakari. Neither is bound, nor he binds. Then finally, therefore, na muktaha. Only when you are bound, then you will be liberated. Na muktaha. Therefore, nacha mokshadaha, nor is a giver of moksha. अब देखो, is this not in resonance with what said in the Mandukya Karika? न निरोधो न चोत्पत्ति न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता. And already said, and again it's going to be said, on that Paramatma who is free from all this. It is Maya which projects the entire world and all these things. Or the other way around is what? That level of life wherein Bandha Moksha are discussed, Janma Marana is discussed, killer and killed is discussed. Beyond that, there is a state of being or the self. That should be our goal. And it is discovered within ourselves on the deep meditation, having transcended the upadhis. For that, the knowledge has to become stronger, willingness has to be stronger, pursuit has to be relentless till it happens. He is called as true, actual, matured sadhak. ये सारा हमारा सत्संग उसी के लिए हमको तैयार कर रहा है. If we allow it. Imagine all rishis, munis, through all these shastras, they are pushing us to make us the true, complete sadhak. Be in this bhavana. Like a लड़के का शादी तय हो गया, वो जो है ना, वो दुल्हा को सारे लोग मिलकर उसको तैयार करते. कोई नए लाया, कोई को कपड़े पहनाए, उसको पगड़ी बनाई, कोई माला पहना रहा है, कोई इसको सेंट लगा रहे, कोई गधे पे या घोड़े पे बिठा रहा है. अच्छा लगा एग्जाम्पल. Then he'll be taken there. In the same way, you and I are prepared, not a dulha there, but for spiritual sadhana. The Hemalekha is doing her work. The Adi Shankara is doing his work. The Vasishtha Vishwamitra Valmiki Ramji, they are doing their work. The Patanjali ji and all of them. The Hiranyagarbha, Kapila, the Patanjali, the Vyasa Bhagwan. And here also again Adi Shankara, Shwethashwathara ऋषि, ये सारे लोग मिलकर हमको तैयार कर रहे हैं साधक के रूप में. Allow them by being regular. Allow them by being sincere. Allow them by little contemplative. About these things, I am blessed with all this, I must make use of them. So, न जायते न म्रियते न वद्यः न च घातकः न बद्धः न बन्धकारी and न मुक्तः न च मोक्षदः. Neither is liberated nor giver of liberation. Purushah Paramatma tu. That Purusha, the Paramatma, वो ये सब ऊपर के लक्षण वाला है. यथा यद अतः अन्यत. That which is other than all these things, anything which is other than this Paramatma, who is beyond all these things, all of that is asat chatat. All of that is asat, worthy of throwing it away only. This Purusha in us, in everywhere in the whole universe, that Paramatma is of all this denial. ये सब नहीं है उनमें. And other than this, everything is asat only. All the three. The killer is asat, the killed is asat, killing is asat. Birth is asat, modifications are asat, then the death also is asat. Bondage is unreal hai, sadhana is unreal hai, siddhi is unreal hai. Ultimately. But at this level, whatever is required, we have to do. When we keep on doing sadhana, the final result is only to realize that we are never bound, or we are that self which is never bound. हम बद्ध आत्मा को मुक्त नहीं करते हैं. वो आत्मा जो कभी बंधन में नहीं आया, उसको हम के रूप में रियलाइज करते हैं. Which is even now there. Even in the criminal also same आत्मा is there. परम नास्तिक में वही आत्मा है, हमेशा वो है ही. बस ये has to realize. Now next one is what? एवं बुद्ध्वा जगद रूपम विष्णोर मायामयम वृषा. Now one by one sadhana. Evam buddha. In this way, having got the bodha, means conviction. What is it? Jagat Rupam Vishnoho Mayamayam. The entire Jagat, with all its rupas, are nothing but Vishnu Bhagavan ka Maya. Vishnu means Paramatma. Vishnoho Mayamayam, and then Mrisha. It has no purpose. If you do any attribution of purpose, you are bound. Vishnoha Mayamayam Etad Jagat Buddha Marsha. Now, dekho, if you can really grasp these points, are we not free from the entanglements? At least we don't create the new ones. But how secretly this knowledge is to be given only to the qualified ones. Otherwise, on the name of this knowledge, again we may become irresponsible, as we saw in our introduction today. And that introduction was just a general common sense thought every day. Forget it. Come to the class. Class में शंकर भगवान का thought है कि everything, the whole Jagad Rupam is Vishnu ho Maya mein, and it is a Mrisha. Mrisha means involving in it is only causing bondage. अब देखो ये नाज अंदर घुस रहा है का अर्थ हुआ कि वी आर मेच्योर्ड, वी आर बिकम प्योरिफाइड. If the resistance coming from inside, what I talk, the world is real, I'll be in the world only, everybody is real, everything is real, then we are at the Purva Pakshi level, not at the Siddhanti sthai. एवं बुद्धवा, ऊपर का पूरा समझकर, जगत रूपम विष्णु मायामयम, also know that whole jagat with all its multiple rupas are Vishnu Maya. In that you have to add Jagat Rupam, whether it is beautiful or ugly or whatever it is. And now to this substantiating, how beautiful were yesterday's our 8-9 slokas we studied in Yoga Asma Ramayana. In that 28th sarg में कैसे हमको बता रहे वहां कि ये खाई will become a mountain, a jungle become a desert can become a jungle overnight. That is called Vishnu Maya. The person on, जिसने फूल माले आभूषण थे, कल की आज ले जाकर उनको कहीं उस पिट में डाल दिया. The one who is a big king and sole monarch, he becomes a pauper. The monarch also is Vishnu Maya, and himself becoming pauper also is a Maya only. These examples, the big towns and cities become jungles or the deserts. We are seeing in front of our eyes. The तूफान आ गया, सुनामी आ गया, और अर्थक्वेक आ गया, और बॉम्बिंग हो गया. शमशान की तरह बन गए कि नहीं सारे. द यूक्रेन कहो, द तुर्की कहो, दिस गाजा कहो, and during the Second World War. Ramji said it in Treta Yugam, and it is said eternally. What is it? Vishnu Maya Maya. Jagad Rupam Vishnu Maya Maya Murusha Evam Buddha. Be clear about it internally, deeply. Then, as a consequence of this knowledge, next is what? Bhoga Sangat Bhaved Mukta. He should become Mukta, freed from the Asanga, attachment to Bhoga of anything. That's why we said in the beginning, if the Siddhanta Jnana is not substantiated by the practice, we not only cheat ourselves, but we misguide others also. अब इतना समझकर फिर से हमको भोग में आसंग है, तो हमने डीपली बात को समझा ही नहीं. How can you have the asanga with the bhoga when the world and the instruments, all of them are Mrusha Mithya Maya? And when our pursuit is Paramatma, who is Najayate, Namriyate, all of that. तो भोगा संगात भवेत मुक्तः. Then त्यक्त्वा सर्व विकल्पनाम. And from his mind, all the vikalpas means the karana of the bhoga sakti of thinking about people and their glory and then desiring them. Thinking about the object and then glory and desiring them. Then planning for that, then trying to get it, then improving upon it, or getting the other one. ये सारे कहते दिमाग में विकल्पना है. They all come because I have bhoga sakti. Bhoga sakti I do because I take the world is real. I take the world is real because I have not studied Vedanta. Only Brahman Paramatma is real. Everything Dvaita is Maya. Therefore unreal. Therefore it can never give us Sukha. If you go for it, it will only give us bondage. Therefore you have to give up the Bhoga Sakti. And Bhoga Sakti ka Karana Rupi Sarva Vikalpa ka Tyag hona. And how do you do this? Directly you can't drop it. Therefore, only do those things which are related to Paramatma. जो पहला बात था कि अद्वैतम ब्रह्म सदा भावयेतु, सगुण या निर्गुण का परमात्मा का निरंतर भावना करना है. So this giving up bhoga shakti, this giving up vikalpana, even though is the state to be reached, but you can't do it directly. Instead of that, keep doing Bhagavad Chintana, Bhagavad Asakti, then it goes on. This is a downfall. You protect from the downfall. The protecting from downfall is when you go or embark higher. Like Gita में जब कहते हैं ध्याय तो विषयान पुंसः संगस्तेषु जायते, the ladder of destruction is told, no. So what is the antidote for it? Instead of Vishayan Dhyayataha, you do the Paramatma Dhyana. Automatically, the whole track of downward ladder becomes the ladder for higher evolution. So here also, keep in mind that this knowledge should make you freed from Bhoga Sakti and the cause of it called as the Tyaktva Sarva Vikalpanam. Then what to do? Tyakta Sarva Vikalpaha cha. The one who that way gave up all the vikalpas, imaginations, projections in his mind about the world of things and beings and the bhoga in them, etc. Swatmastham nischala manah krutva. He should make his mind swatmastha and nischalo. See, atmasamstham manah krutva nakinchidavi chintayet. गीता का 6th chapter में स्वात्मस्थम मन कृत्वा, then what? निश्चल मन कृत्वा शांतः भवेद् योगी. Let this yogi become shanta. How? Dagdha indana ivanalaha. Like the fire has burnt away all the fuel, how it becomes quieted. So too, the fuel of ignorance, ignorance created reality, world projection, reality given to the world, and then vikalpa in the mind, then the bhoga sakti, then the samsara and bandhanam. All of that is dagdha indana, then is shanta. I am in my bliss of eternal immutable self. Now see these 5-6 shlokas of Puranas, are they not containing the entire sadhana and the knowledge clearly given? How precious it is. If not, Shankara Bhagavan would have not quoted it here. He would have not brought it here. Then this Maya of Chaturvimshati Tattvat is nothing but Prakriti. It need not to be valued, and from that only all our mental projections, etc., come with this topic. This point, this topic gets concluded. Then, more deeper and powerful than these, come the thoughts of Vishnu Dharma Purana quotation. हम उसको भी पढ़ेंगे. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परमऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Thank you, friends. Don't miss our morning classes and evening also. So ऐसा जन्म गुजरता ही रहता है. वर्ल्ड गोज ऑन लाइक दैट. कितना भी टेंशन, एंग्जाइटी लो, इंटरेस्ट लो, इन्वॉल्व हो जाओ, कुछ भी बदलने वाला नहीं है बिकॉज ऑफ अस. Just focus on our own sadhana. That is more important.